Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, starting from the benchmark index moves to all the stocks that are buzzing the most today. Also, we'll get you expert views as to how should you be making your strategies as far as your investments in equities are concerned, especially in some of the stocks that are in focus because of the Q4 earnings as well. We'll focus on all of that, but first up, a quick check on how the markets are doing at this point in time. It panned out to be a great day for the markets until so far. We had been seeing some considerable moves on the upside for both the Nifty and the Sensex, but towards the last half an hour of trade, we are seeing some profit booking taking place in the markets. We had seen the markets hovering over 18,400 in the morning trade, but right now it's the Nifty is up just by about 27 odd points. That's just about 1/10% higher. Now, when we talk about the Sensex also, that's also slipped back below the 62,000 mark, and right now is trading at 61,971. The broader markets trading mixed at this point in time, with the mid caps about half odd percent up in trade, while the small caps have actually turned red as we speak. So mixed trade coming in and profit booking really taking shape. In terms of the other sectors, we are seeing slight gains on the Nifty Bank, but financial services have slipped into the red right now. We're also seeing IT seeing some profits being taken off the table, half odd percent of a cut for that one. The realty stocks are subdued at this point in time. What's up and about is the metals back today, 2.5% uptick for the index today. Apart from that, PSU banks are also holding up strong, 0.4% up in trade. Pharma stocks gaining strength as well, 0.5% up in trade. FMCG stocks are also looking positive as we speak right now. In terms of the top Nifty gainers and losers, the Adani Group stocks definitely continue their momentum today. Adani Enterprises as the top gainer for the second day in a row, 13% upside right now, 2,632 as the current level for Adani Enterprises. Divis Laboratories continues its upward run for the third day. In fact, in just about 2 days, we did see a movement of 10% or so on the stock as well. Eicher Motors is up by 1.5% as well. Apart from that, it's UPL, Bajaj Finserv, BPCL after the earnings. Strong move on the earnings front for that one as well. On the losing side, however, you do see stocks like Tech Mahindra, Grasim, Titan declining by about 1 to 1.5% in trade. Kotak Mahindra Bank, HCL Technologies, the other laggards as we speak. But time to welcome our guest on the show, Mr. Abhishek Basu Malik joins in. He's the founder at IntelSense Capital. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. First up, your own thoughts on how the markets are shaping up. We did see buoyancy throughout the trading session, but again, some profit being taken off the table right now. Are we going to see some more volatility to continue this week?
So I think markets have been volatile, but probably slightly less over the last 1 week compared to what we've seen earlier. But roughly over the last 1.5 years, we've been in a range, and I don't see that we are getting away from that range anytime soon. So
Okay.
we're roughly within that 1.5 2,000 rupees range on the Nifty.
Okay. I wanted to take your comment on the Adani group of stocks. Today is the second day in a row when we've been seeing, in fact, the third one, because Friday also we did see some momentum in the last half an hour of trade as soon as the news had come about. And then Monday and Tuesday, it's 3 days consecutively when the markets have been showing some strength as far as the Adani group stocks are concerned. In fact, about 40% or so jump on the Adani Enterprises, the flagship stock, in just about the last 3 days or so. We saw yesterday being the best day for investors since the Hindenburg research report had got released in January, with the market value getting added by about 80,000 odd crore rupees in just a single day, 10 lakh crore rupees getting crossed as well, and the momentum continuing. Would you say the worst is over for the Adani Group stocks?
Uh, Very difficult to say whether the worst is over, but definitely from a news flow perspective, I think the bad news from a news flow is probably died down. And when the Supreme Court comment came in, I think that added or that acted as a fillip to the stock, or to the entire group for that matter. So you know valuations still continue to be slightly challenging. The businesses continue to perform as expected, as they were performing earlier as well. And the news flow has now slowly started turning positive from extremely negative that we saw from January onward. So things seem to have bottomed out.
Okay, okay. Is there any stock that you're keeping on your radar from the basket at this point in time, at these levels, after this jump as well?
So, I mean, from a business perspective, the two Adani stocks that I keep track of on and off is Adani Ports and Adani Wilmar. Still tracking those two. Not intending to buy or sell at this point in time. Just watching
Okay.
from the sidelines.
Okay, understood that. You know, the focus is also on the new age tech stocks amidst the Q4 earnings as well. We did see some positive results coming in on PB Fintech. In fact, the Policy Bazaar's parent company, the shares rose about 6% after the Q4 losses really narrowed for the company. We did see the Q4 losses really coming at 8.9 odd crore rupees compared to 220 crore rupees of a loss that it had reported in the same quarter previous year. Apart from this, we've also seen that the revenues from operations have jumped about 61% for the firm on a year-on-year basis to 869 crore rupees versus 540 crore rupees that was reported in the same quarter last fiscal. We've also seen the brokerage house reports really turning positive. Morgan Stanley being overweight, target of 810 on PB Fintech. Kotak Institutional Equities adding having an ad rating with a target price of 725. So the prices in fact vary from Nuvama has a lower rating, so 550 rupees is what they have. From 550 to 980 kind of levels, the range is quite wide. What are you reading through in PB Fintech's earnings, and what would you really say after the earnings? Is this the right time to start nibbling into the stock?
So, Sakshi, I have completely, I've completely conflicted views myself on this. I think on the short to medium term, PB Fintech looks quite interesting. The stock seems to have, from a business perspective, also seems to have bottomed out. Earnings numbers are coming. Uh, Probably they will turn profitable, at a pretty much soon. Uh, so from a short to medium term, looks a very interesting play.
Okay.
Uh, Longer term, I am very conflicted because see there are the trend that I see from the regulators, not only in India, globally, especially in India, is to actually reduce all intermediation costs. So whether it is any kind of commissions that the insurance companies pay out and all that. So the profit pool for the segment that PB or Policy Bazaar sort of plays in my opinion, that is going to shrink significantly. Now, volume growth can compensate
Okay.
to an extent, or maybe that is going to be the sort of joker in the pack, so to say.
Yeah.
Whether volume growth can compensate for the downward pressure in terms of margins in commissions. So that is what we need to keep track of over a longer period of time. But from a business perspective, I think they have a lot of things going for them.
Okay.
They have a large database of people, of clients, and they would be in a position to use that to cross sell or to sort of you know mine that data for their purposes. So and I don't think that there are any real competition in what they are doing in the offline market, right? There's nobody who sort of has that kind of reach or that kind of data about individuals who can offer you health insurance, motor insurance, life insurance, and what. So the space is definitely niche. Short term looks good, long term slightly questionable.
So perhaps a more trader stock than a long-term investor stock at this point in time for PB
No,
Fintech.
I would not say that. I mean, definitely it could be looked at from an investment perspective as well. But what we need to sort of look at is, uh, I mean, we need to keep monitoring how this plays out, right? Because the risk may not play out over the next, say, 2 years, 3 years. The commissions may continue as it is today. Then you might miss out on a good stock.
Okay. Let's shift focus to Zomato now, the food delivery major that also reported its earnings. Now, we did see again similar pattern where the losses really narrowed for the company in the fourth quarter to about 187.6 crore rupees. On the back of robust revenues, we did see the revenues jumping to about 2056 crore rupees as against 1211 crore rupees in the year ago period. However, the expenses continued to jump as well, and apart from that, we also saw that while there was continued traction in the Blinkit business, that impressed on somewhat, but that was also seconded by that second straight quarter we did see the company's volume decline on the food delivery vertical, and there was also a drop in the average monthly transacting users, that's MTU, an important metric that the analysts really use to judge the company's progress as well. And of course, amidst the ONDC entry disrupting kind of a news that we saw over the last few days, how would you really read through the earnings and what really follows going forward from here?
Right. So I think you covered a large part of it in terms of the news flow. Now, ONDC is everyone's guess how it will pan out. If it pans out the way that people optimists think that it will, then it's going to be a serious challenge for the Swiggy and Zomato of the world. Not so much for Flipkart and Amazon, because from whatever I have read about ONDC, there is the return scheme is not that well defined as of now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Which is more what tends to happen more with other items other than food. Whereas food, you really don't have returns, so ONDC actually can do well in that space. Now, coming to Zomato, I think it's an interesting business. What they've got in terms of the infrastructure built out, whether it's the delivery executives, it's a well-functioning app, whether it's actually having a lot of transacting users on their app. I think it's a good business. Price-wise, I think it probably has bottomed out. So again, next 6 to 8 months, I'm more hopeful than skeptical, I would say. I mean,
Okay.
so I would call myself slightly bullish on Zomato as well.
Okay. Now again on Zomato also I have to say that on a varied range of brokerage reports, some are saying they see the stock going down to 45, some say 90. Yeah, where do you stand in terms of the target price on Zomato then?
I don't have a target price, but I think that between 45, 50, 55, that zone is probably a good place to sort of buy if you are a long-term investor or a medium-term investor for that matter.
Okay. Now, apart from Zomato, we also saw, logistics player delivery also report its Q4 numbers. Now, here we have seen that again the brokerage house reports are also positive. Some are neutral also. We saw Morgan Stanley giving an overweight rating, Kotak Institutional giving a buy rating, whereas Bank of America really giving a neutral on the stock as well. We did see the January to March quarter revenue falling about 10% on a year-on-year basis. We also saw the net losses for the company widening to about 158 crore rupees from 119 crore rupees earlier. Adjusted EBITDA, however, turned positive for the firm at 6 crore rupees versus the loss of 67 crore rupees in Q3 of FY23. Your own sense of how would you read through the numbers of delivery?
So, I do a lot of quant screening in the market, right? So the last I checked, we have 3,106 stocks which are profitable, out of which about 987 or 986 are above 1,000 crore market cap. So I have absolutely no reason to look at something like a delivery which has never made a profit.
Okay.
There are thousand other choices to look into. And if they, as and when they, if as and when they turn into profit, I will look at it and then evaluate. There's no hurry. I mean, last
Okay.
4 5 years they've not made a profit. So what is the hurry in trying to preempt it?
Okay, understood that. Not in a hurry. Once only the company looks positive as far as profits are concerned, then is perhaps a better way or better time to really look at it. Other opportunities do exist in the market currently. Thank you so much, Mr. Basu Malik, for being with us on the show and discussing with us all these various stocks that we spoke of, post the Q4 numbers, the ways investors should be approaching these stocks, and the investment opportunities in the Adani group of stocks as well. Always a pleasure having you with us on Business Today TV. Let's now focus on the closing levels of the markets. The markets have shut shop in a positive zone, albeit with some profit taking. 18,348, the current level for the Nifty, up about 33 points. The Sensex ended just about 18 points higher, absolutely flat in trade with just a positive bias at 61,981. The broader markets also, the mid and the small cap 100 indices, they managed to both end up higher in today's trade, with small caps just eking out about 2 points of a gain in today's trading session. Ending on a positive zone, but what does the profit booking really suggest to you? Are we in for some more volatile trading sessions as we follow? Well, we'll continue to track all the things that may have an impact on the market movement in tomorrow's trading session, starting from the news flows as far as specific stocks are concerned, and the micros and the macro development as far as even the global cues are concerned. All of that will be under our watch list, and you can track the market movement by being with us on Business Today TV. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, thanks for tuning in. The shares of Balaji Amines, the mid-cap specialty chemicals company, tanked over 18% and also hit their 52-week low levels of 1,880 rupees. And here is why. The sharp decline for the stock came in on the wake of multiple high-ranking executives